Hello, hello, hello. Is anybody there?
Hello, world.
Hello, world. I think we might be live, but let's just go to the YouTube and check. I'm hoping that this means we're live. Yes, we are live.
Very good.
All right. Well, welcome. We'll just give it a minute, maybe, just see if anyone else pops in, and we'll get going.
Absolutely.
We actually got, I think, 10 or 11 new subscribers in the last week, so we're
Very nice.
humming along. New people are signing up, subscribing. That's good. If you're one of them, thank you.
Slow and steady pace, right?
That's right.
Wins all the races.
Hopefully you won't be unsubscribing after you pull up today's video, but, there we go. Okay, let's turn down the live music a little bit, and then we'll go ahead and get going.
All right. Yeah, looks like we've got a lot to cover today.
Yeah. Okay, there we go. If you're watching this and you hear the music, if it sounds too loud, let us know. We can always turn it down some more. Otherwise, this is, I think, what is it called? Something hop.
Chill hop.
Chill hop, yes. So Restream, the platform we use to stream, has a few options for different sounds that you can play during your stream, and so we are playing this. I could have done it in a different way as well, but we're using Restream's audio today, and this thing says chill hop because it gives you some different options, and that's the one we're listening to right now. So hopefully you enjoy chill hop, but let us know what you think. Also, if you hear my breathing, that is because I have a mic pretty close to my mouth. I'm using a headset.
Bringing back memories of old times.
That's right. I'm using a headset microphone, and yeah, so it sounds pretty good, actually. I think it sounds pretty good for a headset. But,
no, it does.
But yeah, it does pick up breathing, so there we go. Okay, well, today is... What in the world is today's day? This thing is going live on the 30th of September.
Yeah.
So, happy birthday to anyone who has a birthday. And happy almost October time. It is October 1st for many of you already. Happy October. And Kirt, glad to have you here.
Yeah, glad to be here.
And yeah, so today we're going to have some news. I have compiled just a few articles for us today to talk about that might be of interest to some of you. Also, we're going to talk a little bit about, let's see, the Audible Web App
today, right?
Yeah, we're gonna learn how to read. So we're gonna talk about the Audible Web App, and maybe Kirt will give us a little demo of that. I'll talk a little bit about playbooks, and then we will talk a little bit about Windows 11 and its readiness for screen readers. So those are kind of the main topics I'm hoping we'll get to today that we'll talk about, because Windows 11 is about to be released. So figured I'd take a little opportunity to tell you what you need to know to get prepared for Windows 11. But before all that, we have a bunch of news for you. So what's new in the news? And this first article is really interesting. Hey Siri. Oops, I hope I didn't wake up any of your iPhones.
Hey, they're probably already locked, so that's not gonna work.
Probably true. But Siri apparently is... so this article actually makes them seem like they're accessibility features, and to some people they may be. I would call them more like conveniences, but it is losing some features that are, for example, the ability to say send an email. So it is losing a couple of those things in the iOS 15. The article has a list of the things that seem to no longer be available. So if you were used to doing it that way with Siri, unfortunately for you, you might be out of luck. Although Apple says that they are aware of the issue. So
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people very up in arms about this. They can't just tell their phone to call somebody anymore.
yeah.
You
I
know,
mean, your
so
assistant is supposed to do as much as possible, so I'm on board with having options. If that is how you were using your phone, though, and you don't have any other limitations, like you don't have any dexterity limitations, I think that A, you're being lazy, and B, you need to figure out how to use your phone without Siri, and that means maybe getting some training. Personally, that's my personal view. So if you're offended by that, I'm sorry, but
yeah,
I really think that Siri should not be the only way that you know how to use a phone.
shouldn't be the only, but I mean, there are times, and it's funny to me how so many people tell me like Android is a lot less accessible than iPhones, and I guess in some ways that's true. But if you're wanting a voice assistant, like if you really want to control your phone that way, it seems like Apple's kind of behind the curve.
Yeah, they're regressing, and Android is catching up because you can do a lot of that stuff with the Assistant, and the Assistant is probably generally more conversational and generally probably going to understand you a little bit better. I am seeing some issues where something like the Assistant may not actually respond to queries if you are using it on a device that has a screen like a phone, so we'll see what happens with that, but for the most part, yeah. And then also Android does have the voice control, so you certainly can make use of that. And then Google made the announcement of being able to control your phone through camera-based switches, like basically your facial movements instead of your voice or your touch. So
So you could like glare at your phone to call your boss or something like that.
Yeah, there you go. But let us know what you think. If you're one of those people who are really upset about Siri, you can leave a comment and you can tell me that I'm being bad and mean for telling you to look up, figure out another way of using your device. So, yeah.
Well,
all right, let's look at this next article here. Oh, the Amazon event. Yesterday...
more Alexa devices, huh?
Yeah, yesterday we were talking about, there's not a lot in the news, and I got to thinking, well, actually, Amazon released a lot of new products.
Yeah. And it seems like mostly iteration, except for this new robot. Yeah.
It's about $1,000 device thing, and it's like your personal security guard, and it's helps you take care of your kid's babysitter, and oh my goodness, I'm not sure what the world is coming to, but hey, if you want a robot for all these things, you can buy this $1,000 robot.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for one that'll do my dishes and clean my floors and that would be more useful to me. But
right, why can't it do something useful?
it looks to me like just now Amazon wants to make sure it can see what you're doing all the time instead of just hear what you do all the time.
Absolutely.
So it's interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, anyway, let's see. Microsoft has this new adaptive kit to make some of their devices more accessible for Surface devices.
Surface kit, it looks like, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean they've been doing a lot in the space. They've been doing a lot with all kinds of different products, with gaming consoles and all these things. And so their latest kind of this Surface Adaptive Kit. It's a flexible set of tactile tools. I'm just reading from their page here. That can be used in many ways, and examples are provided in this guide. While this guide has many suggestions for how to use the labels and openers, apply them in the ways that work best for you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is kind of interesting. Apparently, you can do different things. You can label keycaps, and you can put bumps on the screens. And
stickers and labels for blind people.
yeah, well,
I mean, that could be
apparently.
useful, yeah.
Sometimes I think trainers over-rely on these things. Sometimes people need them, but I know that I've worked with people who like to put a lot of bump dots and Velcros and all kinds of things on keyboards. I'm personally quite against that, because I think that especially if your intent is to go to work, then as soon as you sit down in front of another keyboard, you won't be able to use it.
Yeah.
So unless you have, again, an underlying disability where you really can't feel the little bumps on the F and the J, or you have whatever, like there's a number of situations. You're a senior, perhaps you're not going to work. There are certain incidents where I'm like, okay, let's do this. But otherwise, I don't know, I'm pretty against these kinds of things generally.
Yeah, I mean, I can see some added convenience. Like, for example, I had that had a couple USB ports, and I could never forget which one was the faster USB port and which one was this. Like, one was USB 3 and one was USB 2, and I didn't have a good memory to remember, oh, this one's USB 3, this one's USB 2. So for little things like that, I can see it being like a useful addition, but yeah, I agree, depending on this stuff is probably not a good idea.
Well, and I also feel like they're band-aids to solutions that companies should automate. Like, if people are having a hard time figuring out which one is the right USB port, how hard would it be to just incorporate a little dot right above the USB port, for example, or just a little tactile mark, or I don't. I feel like a lot of these solutions are band-aids to problems that really they could be fixed on a much wider scale. Providing people with dots, yeah, that's cool, but you're not actually labeling it for them. So now all of a sudden, you assume that a blind person maybe has a care assistant or someone to help them do
Yeah. Yep.
And you're not really making the product universally, you're not using that universal design to make it universally accessible anyway. And really you could go to, I don't know, Hobby Lobby or any of these other stores and get some of these similar things. So
yeah,
it was kind of a sensationalist article to me, like, hey, look, this is what we're doing for blind people. This is Microsoft. We're doing these things for, well, I don't know that it necessarily reference specifically
PR,
blind people.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. It's just, again, my take on it, and I'm just one person, and, let us know what you think about this.
I think I mostly agree. I mean, there's better ways to handle these things.
All right, Kirt, let's see. New Android features. You want to... I don't know if you looked at this article, or...
Yeah, let's see here. Looks like a lot of the links that I got here were opening to just the main website homepages.
You probably have to get them from the YouTube, the description.
Okay.
Sorry.
Nah, you're fine.
I might have not copied them in the full links or something.
That's okay. So is it mostly the accessibility features we were talking about earlier with like the facial gestures?
It's one thing. So let's see here. Let's see here.
I'm going here too.
Oh, we have 2 likes. Thank you for anybody who's watching.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so this article, let's see here. I'm going to open it up right now, and we've got new Android features coming this season. Control your phone with facial gestures. Can control the TV with your phone. Even when the couch is eating your remote, you can use your phone.
Ha, very nice.
It literally says that here. We've built remote control features directly into your phone so that you can power on your TV, navigate through your recommendations, you can start your favorite show from your phone. And you can use your phone's keyboard to type complicated passwords. This one is kind of, I'm like, okay, this is cool, but Samsung did this back in like the days of the Note 4, or maybe before that, when they had these IR blasters that manufacturers thought, then maybe people don't actually need these. I'm not so sure this is really a new feature. Maybe it's a revived feature.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, that's happened a lot, though, where Samsung's put a feature out and then it gets added into Google's Android a couple years later.
Yeah, but this is not just a sin. Like a lot of other manufacturers used to put in IR blasters into their devices.
Yes.
And you could use those with any TV. You didn't have to use it with just Google TV, as a provider. You could use it with literally any physical TV, and actually control the device with your phone.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Well, it looks like
Manage day-to-day.
reminders will be more streamlined, yeah.
Yeah. You can say, open my reminders to the Google. That's good.
Seems like we should have been able to do that already. That's it. It's just weird that that's new.
Yeah, so reminders wasn't really its own thing, I guess, in the past. You could always say, remind me to do X, Y, or Z, but just, being able to open those reminders and get suggestions for recurring reminders. That's kind of new.
Yeah.
But you can also automate reminders, so you can say, remind me to do something every morning or something like that.
Yeah, and it looks like there's a bit of an AI algorithm to kind of remember what times you usually... Like the example the article gives is water my plants every morning.
Yep.
And it'll just kind of pick a time that it thinks is the best time to remind you in the morning to do that.
That's right. Alright, so Android Auto seems to be getting some new additions. So it's getting personalized recommendations from the assistant for music and podcasts and that kind of thing. And news.
Do blind people use Android Auto?
If you're riding in a family member's car or something like that, sure. Why not?
I mean, fair enough.
You can play some games while you're parked, apparently, and charging your car. Okay. And if you are a commuter, it can help you stay on top of important messages and that kind of thing. And if you have a dual SIM phone, you can choose which SIM you're going to use to make calls using Android Auto. That's cool. Let's see. You can add photos and videos to a passcode protected space. So some phones already had this. Manufacturers already had this. But if you want certain photos to be privately protected, if you want to watch some porn or whatever, you don't want your wife to see. Just kidding. I'm giving you bad ideas. But anyway, you can certainly protect those photos.
Yeah, it seems... Hasn't Samsung had this for a while with their secure folder thing? And
Yeah. But
probably
other
been on
manufacturers
Pixel
have as well.
Yeah.
So we've got new additions to Emoji Kitchen on Gboard.
Lovely.
You can create more combinations of your favorite emojis.
Over 1,500 new stickers.
They have some here that's a combination of owl, goat, bread, strawberry. At least that's how they're labeled. So that's kind of interesting. Smart Compose being used to autocomplete, so you can use that if a phone number or a message has multiple items, phone numbers, and email addresses and URLs. Gboard will automatically extract those and separate those into multiple pasting options so that you can choose the information most important to you. Right after, if you take a screenshot, you open up messages, it will show that screenshot as a suggestion to share. And if you're running Android 11 or newer, you can swipe to complete sentences. So that's cool.
Gboard's
shares
always
with
had
you.
cool little tricks like that.
Yeah, it has. So Nearby Share has some more settings options for controlling who's allowed to share with you and who's allowed to see your device.
And it's moving to the quick settings by default now, right?
Yep. So there's a new heads-up feature, apparently, to remind you to be alert and look up while you're walking. Like, really? Okay.
Yeah,
I guess there have
real.
been stories of people falling in the lake, so yes. So it's available to Android devices 9 or newer with the Digital Wellbeing app, so when you're walking, if you're not looking up, it'll remind you. So there we go. Anyway, we'll put a link to that article in there.
Yeah.
And, probably the blind Android users will have some kind of a recording on that, some of these things too. So
deep dive or something.
Yep. Finally, we've got Envision AI, and that they are hiring.
Oh, they're hiring.
They are hiring. So they have a number of different positions. I was looking at those the other day, and we put a link to the article in the description. So if you're interested in a job and you want to work, then it might be a good opportunity to do that. They have things like community managers and social media and I don't know, just user research, UX, things like that. So they have a few different positions, and as I said, I put the link in. Some of them are completely remote, some of them are out of the Netherlands. So there we go.
There would be worse places to move.
Yeah, spend all your time getting high.
Well, I wasn't thinking that, apparently.
I think that's what the Netherlands is known for, is it not? Maybe.
A few things, yeah.
All right. So let's see. What do we want to do next? Do we want to cover books or the other topic?
Oh, that's up to you. I could go into
Windows
Audible,
11.
the web app, a little.
All right, let's go Audible. Yeah, we'll do books, and then we'll circle back around to Windows 11. But I will say, for anyone who's watching, if you like this content, hit that like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe. Don't hit unsubscribe, hit subscribe. Okay? Very good. And there's a couple of you watching, so thank you very much.
Whoa! Sorry, I just had the YouTube live stream going and the restream stream going at the same time, and that was a little bit trippy in my ears.
Yeah, I bet you got a little confused there.
All right. So, is it time to talk about Audible Web App?
Absolutely.
All right. So, one of kind of the nicest surprises I've found while switching over to this Chromebook and trying to see how much of my, computing life I can do on this thing is all the different web apps that are out there that will do the same things that apps on your phone will do. And, there's advantages and disadvantages to doing it on the web versus the phone, but at least with Audible and most of the other ones that I've tried, it's very usable, and in a lot of ways it's more efficient than it was when I was trying to do these things on a touch screen. So for example, what I'll do is I'll open up it's called the Audible Cloud Player, and it gives you all of the functionality that Audible has on your computer or your smart speaker. So it's just another way of, listening to your Audible books. But the advantage to doing it on the web is being able to navigate things with your keyboard. So, to show that, let me do a screen share here first. Let me get back into the right. Here we go. Now, is it going to screen share all of the open tabs I have as well, Nimer?
If you are doing a full screen, then it's going to share your entire screen. So anything that's visible on your screen.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't have anything scandalous open, so that's fine. I'm
sure you do. That's why you asked.
Well, I don't have anything open right this second.
Okay. All right.
but it's useful to know. Okay. Alright. And I will share the system audio here. Alright, I'm starting a screen share here. Let me bring the rate down a bit.
Rate 60%. Rate 58%. Rate 40%. Rate 30. Alert. Bitch 44%.
Pressing the wrong button.
Unmuted your mic. Bitch 50%.
Alright, let's go a little slower.
Rate 35%. Rate 33%.
Okay. There we go.
Play local video. Button.
Alright, so let me open up a new tab here. I'll press Control T.
Address and search bar.
I'll go
My Best Buy credit card. Registration welcome.bestbuy.accountonline.com. New tab. Web content.
Alright, so now it loaded up the page.
The Freeze Frame Revolution audiobook by Peter Watts. Cover art. The Freeze Frame
I'll press my
Incredible
Control Be
performances.
Quiet key here. Stop it.
Audible, an Amazon company. Link. Library. Link. List item. Wish list. Link. List.
So
Library.
let me go to the
Hi,
very
Kirt.
top.
Link. Collapsed. List item.
So
List.
it says,
With 4
hi,
items.
Kirt. This
Secondary
is
navigation.
laid out
Navigation.
very similar to the app on your phone. Like
The list is
almost
getting rave reviews
identically.
this month.
It just
Membership
sometimes
status.
talks a lot.
List. Hi, Kirt. Membership status. List item. Hi, Kirt. Memberships. Audible Premium Plus. Hi, Kirt. Collapse.
Okay.
Account details. Link. My pre-orders.
I'm
Link.
just
Listener
tabbing
page.
around
Member
here.
benefits. How to listen. Link. Not Kirt. Sign out. Link. 1 credit available. Available credits. List item. 1 credit available. Available credits. 1 credit available. Available credits. List item. List. With 1 item.
And
Buy 3 extra credits. Help. Link. Shopping cart. Items in cart. 0. Link. List item. Navigation end.
doing that thing that is very inefficient, generally just tabbing around the page just to
The
give
list
you
is
an
getting
idea
rave
of what's
reviews
here.
this month. Audible, an Amazon company. Link. Library. Link. List item.
Library.
List with 6
This is
items.
what I want.
Primary navigation.
So I will
Navigation.
press enter
Press
here.
search. My library. Audible.com.
Now
My library,
to
audible.com.
illustrate
Alert.
how Audible works, I figured I didn't want to get Nimer demonetized on YouTube. I didn't want him to get sued for copyright infringement. And I also wanted to tick everybody off. So we will be doing this demo in the Holy Bible, which was free and included in Audible. That was just the first example I thought of. So
This sounds holy.
absolutely. Well, let's offend everybody. Okay.
Library. Heading 1. Main.
So I just pressed my Chrome Vox key plus H to get to my library.
All. Tab. Of. Visited. Selected. Audiobooks. Tab. Of. Heading 2.
Chrome Vox
Press search.
plus right
Podcasts,
arrow.
Tab.
I could
Of.
also tab
Authors,
here.
Tab. Of. Collections. Tab. Of. Search your library. Search. Search your library. Form. Filter by all titles selected. Filter by finished. Filter by unfinished. Form. Sort by. Date added. But select. Button.
Now,
Press search
I
plus space
do
to activate.
wish...
The Holy Bible. King James Version by cover art. Link. Press search plus
I
space
do
to activate.
wish these were if they had a heading level for each book, it would make moving between them a little bit better, but each book is just a link.
The Holy Bible. King James Version. The list item. By. List item. King James Bible. Link. Narrated by. List item. Scott Brick. Link. Comma. Prentice Oniemi.
There's
Comma.
all these
Ellen Archer.
narrators
Comma.
here.
LJ. Comma. Jennifer Van. Comma. Suzanne Torin. Interactive. Not for me. Radio button unselected. It's okay. Radio
Now
button
it's
unselected.
wanting me to review.
Pretty good. It's
but
great. I love it. Radio button unselected. Write a review. Link. This newer edition of the King James Bible published in 1769 is usually preferred by most that read it over the older 1611 version. This 1769 edition is highly sought after due to being more reader/listener friendly. Add to
Okay.
favorites. Button. Add to ellipsis. Button. Mark is finished. Progress indicator. 81H36M. Button.
Okay.
Press search plus space to
so
activate.
that was a very, very long way of getting to the Listen Now button, but I wanted to show you everything that was here. Now, a faster way, now that I know that I'm looking for a Listen Now button, is I'll go to the top of the page. Well, actually, I will first
Link. Collapse. Library. Heading 1. Main.
get to the link of the book I want.
All. Tab. Of. Audiobooks. Tab. Podcasts. Tab. Authors. Tab. Collections. Tab. Search your library. Search your library. Filter by all titles. Select. Filter by finished. Filter by unfinished. Sort by. Date added.
I'm doing this kind of slow on purpose
Select.
just to show
Button.
you what it's like here.
The Holy Bible. King James Version by
All right, so now I'm on the Holy Bible. I can just press Chromevox plus / that is kind of the equivalent of your virtual find in JAWS or your your screen reader find.
Find in page. Share. Select.
I will type
Share. Delete.
listen.
Listen now. Listen now.
Then I pressed enter and it moved me right
Remove. Listen now.
to
Button.
that listen now
Press search
button,
plus space
which
to activate.
I will press enter on or search space as Chromevox says. Same thing.
CloudPlayerAudible.com. CloudPlayerAudible.com.
And it opens up my
CloudPlayerAudible.com.
Cloud Player. And I'll just tab through this.
View site information. But address and search. Cloud Player. View site
Sam
information.
journeyed from
Address and
thence
search bar.
toward the
Oh,
south
no.
country,
CloudPlayerAudible.com.
and dwelled between
So I'll
Kadesh
press
and
space
Shur,
bar to pause.
and sojourned in Gerar.
More.
And
Genesis
Abraham said of Sarah his wife,
It's not like in
she
my
is my
keyboard.
sister.
Why is it not like in my
And
keyboard
Abimelech,
shortcut?
Find
king
page.
of Gerar,
Listen.
sent
Genesis J.
and took Sarah.
Play / pause.
But God
Image.
came to
CloudPlayerAudible.com.
Abimelech in a dream by
Cloud
night
Player.
and said to him,
Audible.com. Rewind 30.
Behold,
Play / pause.
thou art
Image.
but a dead man.
Okay, I'm
Search.
going to
Listen now.
refresh.
Button. My library. Audible.com.
That normally doesn't happen.
Remove. Listen now. Button. Press search plus space to activate.
Okay, so let's open it up again.
CloudPlayerAudible.com. 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 Alert.
Normally I can just press space to hit play or pause.
For the
so I
woman
might have-
which thou
Picking up
hast
from where you left
taken,
off.
for she is a man.
There we go. So I press space and it paused. I'll press space again to start
His wife.
playing.
But Abimelech had not.
Now, I'll
More.
just move through
Genesis 20.
everything on this page here.
1 hour 17 minutes and 11 seconds. Progress indicator. 1. Min 0. 81 hours 36 minutes and 81H36M16S left. Book cover. Image. Play previous chapter.
Wow, that's
Image.
a long book.
Press search plus space to activate.
It's a very long book. And actually, when you move between chapters and stuff, in this book, there's a noticeable buffer. Just because it's such a long thing, it's loading here.
Rewind 30 seconds. Play / pause. Image. Press forward 30 seconds. Image. Play next chapter. Image.
So if
Press
you
search plus
see,
space to activate.
all of these things here are images. So to navigate around this web app, and there's not... I mean, the keyboard support is good, but not great. So a fast way to move between things in this web app is to press I and Shift I, or I and... Chromevox and I, and then Chromevox and Shift I to move by images.
Chapters.
Now here I have the list of chapters,
1.0x.
1.0x.
Narration speed.
Narration speed.
1.0x.
So let me change the speed to go faster because she reads kind of slow. I'll press enter here to open up that...
Had not come near her.
Oh, stop it.
Narration speed. 1.0x.
Okay, I'll try Chromevox space.
Speed. Heading 2.
And it opened up a speed dialog. So it looks like enter does play pause as well.
0.5x. Radio button unselected. 1 of 1. 0.6x. Radio button unselected. 0.7x. Radio button. 0.8x.
arrowing
Radio button
through the
unselected.
options
0.9x. 1.0x. Radio button. 1.1x.
You don't
Radio
want
button
to play it
unselected.
at
1.1.
0.5x?
Press search plus space to
Oh,
toggle.
let's give it a try.
0.6x. Radio button. 0.5x. Radio button unselected.
I will select
1 of 1.
0.5x.
Press search. 0.5x narration speed.
This
Chapters.
80-hour book
Play
now
next
turned
chapter.
into
Oh, right.
120 hours or something.
Good heavens, yeah.
0 point narration speed. Add a bookmark. Picking up from where you left off.
And that automatically closed the dialogue. So I'll press space again to start playing.
And he said, Lord, wilt thou slay also a righteous nation?
Okay, now I can
Said he not unto me,
I can press right arrow,
She
that
is
goes
my
forward 30
sister,
seconds.
thee, and thou shalt
Left arrow goes
live.
back 30
She
seconds.
herself said, he is my brother. In the integrity of my heart
I'll
and
be-
Down arrow
innocency
goes
of
up
my
to the next chapter.
Chapter 21.
Up arrow goes to the previous chapter.
Chapter 20.
We'll have to
So
send
you
this to
hear-
Warren.
Yeah! Tell him to buy a Chromebook that's made of plastic, so that he can enjoy this his way. But, so yeah, space to play or pause. And
CloudPlayerAudible.com.
Oops.
More.
then,
Genesis 20. 1 hour 16 minutes and 35 seconds.
come on.
1 hour 16 minutes. 1 hour 16 minutes and 36
I wonder
seconds.
if it's having issues
1
just
hour
because the
36
book is
minutes.
so big.
0.5 book cover. Play previous. Rewind 30 seconds. Play / pause. Image. Press search plus space to activate.
Chapter 20.
There we go. I'll do up arrow to go to chapter
Chapter
19.
19.
And then you could open up a list of chapters here.
Play / pause.
I'll go
Forward
down
30
to
seconds.
that.
Play next chapter. Chapters.
Press Chromebox and space to open up the chapters list.
Dialog. Address and search bar.
Well, what's
Audible.com/webplayer.
happening is
Active
because this...
085 LRBBXJ.
I maybe should have chosen a smaller book, because this one is so big, I think that it's kind of making the web app have
Address and
issues.
search bar. Share this page.
But...
Are you running out of RAM on your
Close.
Chromebook?
Chapters. Opening credits.
I don't know that it's doing that, but see, that opened up the list of chapters here, so...
0 hours 0 minutes and 21 seconds. Genesis. 0 hours 0 minutes and 3 seconds. Genesis 1. 0 hours 5. Genesis 2. 0 hour. Genesis 3. 0 hour. Genesis 4.
I'll just do a virtual find, same thing. It's the Chromebox
Find in page.
search.
Pause.
I will
Pause.
search
Deleted.
for Luke.
Leviticus.
I don't know.
Luke.
Let's go. There we go.
Find in page.
Chapter 20.
Luke 1.
Stop it. Okay, so but then see here, it brought me to Luke 1.
0 hours 9 minutes and 24 seconds. Luke 2. 0
Luke
hours 6
2.
minutes. Luke 3. 0
Luke
hours 5 minutes and
3.
55 seconds.
So I jumped to that part much later in the Bible.
Luke 4.
Then we'll go to Luke 4.
T.
Come on.
And Abraham
Okay, so it looks like I have to
0 hours 6 minutes. Luke 4.
do Chromebox space on Luke 4 instead. I keep pressing the enter key, which is playing where I was previously.
Picking up from where you left off. Alert. CloudPlayerAudible.com. Picking up from where you left.
This is a little glitchy than I've seen it on smaller books.
CloudPlayerAudible.com. Picking up from where you left off. View site
Yeah,
information.
come on, Audible.
Add 0
Come on,
use
Audible.
address 0.5x. View site information. Address and search bar 0.5x narration speed. CloudPlayerAudible.com. Picking up from where you left off. CloudPlayerAudible.com. Picking up from CloudPlayerAudible.com.
Yeah, I think I just broke the Audible Web App.
0.5x narration speed.
Good job.
But
CloudPlayerAudible.com.
come on.
Picking up from where you left off. CloudPlayerAudible. Picking up from where you left off. CloudPlayerAudible.com.
Yeah, so this one is that's a massive book you saw. It's 80 hours.
Picking up from where you left off. Picking up from where you left. Picking
Let
up from
me
where you left.
open,
Picking up from where you left off.
A shorter one, and just not listen to very much.
Listen now. Button. My library. Remove. The wisdom of crowds. List item. By. List. Joe Abercrombie. Narrated by. List item.
This is a book I've been listening to called The Wisdom of Crowds. It's a fantasy book. Very
Stephen Pacey. Series. List. The Age of
Very
Mad.
good
Not for me.
if you're
Radio button
into,
unselected. It's pretty.
like,
It's great.
grim,
I love
dark
it.
type
Add to favorite.
stuff.
But add to ellipsis. Button. Mark is finished. Button. Listen now. Button.
I've just been pressing
Press search plus space to
Chromebox
activate.
B. I found the Listen Now button.
CloudPlayerAudible.com. 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 Alert. Alert.
She saw it
Picking up.
all. The villain.
So I'm
A
moving
little
by
private
chapters right
hangover.
now.
The moment. Great men, the only crime. Answers. Of your heart a stone.
So this is
Good
just moving
times.
around between chapters.
So many changes. Good times.
Now I'll go...
Since the way
This is the
some
best of
have
times.
fingers
This is
of
the
fury
worst of times.
to heal the
Absolutely.
tempests of
Hope and despair.
how to make it.
So I'm just pressing right arrow to fast forward.
But her eyes at Rika's right
arrow
shoulder.
again to fast forward.
There were
right arrow again to fast
and
forward.
folded her in a hug.
Left
Pieces
arrow
were
to
crisscrossed
rewind.
with scars.
Space to pause. So as you can see in this smaller book, that is still a decently sized book. Let's see
Picking
how
up from where you left off. Cloud Player
actually
Audible
big it
more.
is.
Good times. 20 hours 7 minutes and 53 seconds. Progress indicator. 85. Min 0. Max 100. 3 hours 29 minutes and 31 seconds. 3H29M31S left.
Okay, so this book is a 20-hour long book instead of an 80-hour long book, and you can see it's a little more responsive in here.
Find in page.
Let me see if I
read it.
can just navigate to one of the
Chapters.
earliest chapters here.
1.0x. Chapters.
There were craftsmen of Kali.
Oh, I keep pressing the enter key.
1.0x. Chapters. Dialogue
Okay,
container.
chat.
Dialogue.
There we
Close.
go.
And chapters. Opening credits.
So this one opened up the chapters much faster than the Bible that has like a gajillion and a half of
0
them.
hours 0 minutes. Part 7. 0 hours 0. Part 7. 0 hour. Opening credits. Part 7. Like a king.
So it says part 7 because it's the third book in
0
its
hours
trilogy.
34. Change.
Change. Let me see if I can go here. I pressed Chrome Fox space.
Picking up from where you left off. Alert. Cloud Player Audible Doc. Picking up from where you. Cloud Player Audible Doc. Picking up from where you left off. Alert.
Change.
There we go. So it moved me right to that chapter.
You must confess, said Pike.
Oh, now we're confessing.
Now we're confessing, yeah. So that's just a demo of, I wish I had chosen a smaller book to demonstrate with first, because it turns out 80 hours and a gajillion chapters does kind of, I don't know why. I don't know if it's the browser or the processor or just doing that much over the web at once, but it that kind of strains it. But when you have something a more manageable size, like a normal size audiobook, as you can see, it's really snappy, and moving around the book, changing speeds and stuff, can be more efficient, especially if you don't know where the buttons are on the touch screen and have to just be flipping around or flicking around through everything. It can be more efficient to do on a keyboard here. So that is the Audible Web App.
I think the real problem is it did not want you to read the Bible.
Well, I mean, I can sympathize, but do we have any comments here, Nick?
I think we've removed your audio. No, we don't have your screen share anymore.
Very good.
Nope, doesn't look like we have any comments. Not today. I guess people aren't interested in books. Who knows? All right, so let's see. I'll do a demo of Play Books on the web. So it works pretty well on mobile. It works pretty well on Android and on iOS. You can read both text and audio books. So Play Books is sort of like the Google alternative to the Audible. And I've always thought Audible to be a little bit strange because you can, so the way that you buy Audible books, you buy these credits or whatever, you get a subscription, Audible subscription, and basically gives you a number of credits for how many books that you want to buy each month or whatever. But the cost of the subscription is the cost of many books out there.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, why would I buy a subscription so I can then get a free book when I can just buy the book?
Human narrators, I guess, is the counterpoint. Like,
you get human narration using Google Play Books as well.
Oh, do you? Okay, I haven't really messed with it.
Yeah, so you can get either text or you can get audio. It depends on the book or depends on which format you buy. So if you just want the text, it's a lot cheaper to buy. And if you want the audio, depending on the book itself, it'll be anywhere between, $5 and $15, depending on the book. But yeah. So let's do a screen share. I'll screen share, and then we'll navigate
I can mute myself here.
Google Play Books. Yeah. All right, let's go to invite guests. No, I don't want to invite a guest. I want to share screen. Okay, and I suppose I need to turn down the speech rate. There we go. All right, so now I'm going to open up a new tab. Play.google.com/books.
Play.google.com/books selected. Google Play document visit. Google Play.
All right, so now on this page, we've got
Google account.
the same, stuff at the top that you normally have on any Google page. The
Clickable button collapsed. Google Apps. Button
Google
collapsed.
Apps, Google
Playbooks.
account, or Playbooks.
Clickable search
There's a
edit.
search box.
Button to link graphic get in description. Link books. Tab selected books.
So we have tabs then. We also have books,
Tab series.
series.
Button upload files.
We can upload our own files to Google Play Books.
Menu button submenu settings menu.
There's a settings.
Visited link my books.
There's a My Books.
Link shop.
There's a shop. Cool, I can shop.
Separator. Link uploads 1.
Uploads,
Link purchases 182.
purchases,
Link pre-orders 2.
pre-orders,
Link samples 9.
samples,
Link wishlist 2.
wish list,
Link family library 25.
family library that you will have if you are signed up with the Google Play family, where you can share your stuff with the rest of your family.
Link finished 1. Separator.
Finished,
Link unshelved 192.
unshelved. You can actually create bookshelves with your certain books. I don't do that, but you certainly could. Okay, so
Button create shelf. Heading level 1 books in your library 100.
so let's go to the search box
Banner and map clickable search edit. Banner and map.
and let's search for Bible. Why not?
Document visit blank.
If Kirt read the Bible, I'm allowed to read the Bible too.
Ebooks heading level 2 link. Audiobooks heading level 2 link.
So I'm just navigating by headings here.
Check out more content from audiobooks. Link ESV here the word audio Bible. Graphic rated for button $1.20. Link James Earl Jones reads the Topics Media Group. Graphic rated for button $1.24. Point link Pure Voice Audio Bible.
So all these are links,
Thomas Nelson. Graphic rated button $1.90.
and the purchase button is a button.
$14.9. Link Listeners Audio Bible New International Version. Nib. Holy Bible in Audio King James Version. The David Cochran Heath. Graphic rated for button $1.20. Site terms of service link. Audio ebooks heading.
And then we can do the same with
Check out
ebooks.
more content Bible. Webster 1833 link. Link the Bible in English. Graphic rated button 3.
Oh look, there's a free version of
The Bible is graphic.
Link Bible. American
Yeah.
Standard Version 93 button. Link Bible. The Emphasized Bible by Rotherham 1902.
Not sure what the emphasized Bible is, but cool.
Free button. Link Bible. Young's Literal 1. Free button. Link Amplified Bible. $8.99 book.
It's an amplified Bible. So anyway, you could just use headings navigation to navigate through these different things. Let's actually go to
Clickable search combo box button blank. Navigation list with 6 link shop. Visited link my books.
I'm going to go to My
Document
Books.
visit blank. Google Play document. Banner and map clickable. Books in your library 1. No next edit. Banner and map clickable search edit search. Button link graphic get in this banner clickable search edit.
I have one in my library, so I'm kind of wondering if I do a search, is it going to search my library or is it going to search all of Play?
Banner and map search edit.
Let's see.
Document visit blank. Bible books on Google Play doc.
No, it looks like it does a search for
Ebooks heading level audio no next.
all of them, unfortunately.
Ebooks added menu but search. List with highlight link my play active link my wish link button visited link my subscribe link play point link payment link out of list link device link link list with link text link visited link my book out of list link list with 6 items. Document visit blank.
Yeah, okay. Alright, well,
Books in your lap. No next head button unavailable prem 50 button head button show all toggle button not pressed ebooks. Toggle button not pressed audiobook. Pressed. Link the bear and
let's filter by audiobooks, and here's a book that that I have in my library that I've started to read. And
toggle button not pressed select link the bear and the dragon.
The Bear and the Dragon. Alright, let's go in here. I'm going to just hit enter on this book.
The bear and the dragon Google
Henry
Play
VIII
document.
never had it so good.
All right.
Jack Ryan had
Visit
never
it
thought to
button
become a
collapsed.
crowned monarch.
Clickable button playback speed. Go forward,
whole
pause
idea
button,
of
play.
So these are buttons at the bottom. So
Button go backward, button
similar
add
to the what's that thing called, the Kindle?
Slider 20.
Well, not Kindle, the Audible.
List clickable chapter 20. Clickable tab bookmarks. Tab selected chapter.
We have chapters and bookmarks tabs.
39. The Bear and Banner and Mac button collapsed.
This is a very similar app to the one on the phone, and we have buttons. You can add a bookmark.
Backward 30 seconds.
Go back 30 seconds.
Play button.
Play.
Forward 30.
Go forward 30 seconds.
Clickable button playback speed 1 times.
And we can adjust playback
Button
speed.
Playback speed 1 times. Playback
Let's
speed.
see if, since this is a web app, if we can hit the question mark, if we get any keyboard shortcuts. Let's see what happens.
Dialog. Clickable close button.
Wow, look at that. We get keyboard shortcuts. Let's see what they are.
Button close. Keyboard shortcuts heading left show hide shortcut help. Shift plus slash. Play or pause audiobook. Spacebar OK.
So spacebar will play or pause the audiobook, or you can also hit the letter K.
Seek backward 30 seconds.
Go backwards 30 seconds.
Left arrow or J.
Left arrow or J.
Seek forward 30 seconds. Right arrow or L.
Right arrow or L will go forward 30 seconds.
Go to previous chapter. P shift plus P.
P or Shift P.
Go to next chapter. N shift plus N.
N or Shift N.
N.
Actually, it isn't or. What it's doing is it's actually writing out in parentheses the command. So in case you're looking at it like I was, without actually looking at the character, you need to know which character it is to actually do it. So it's Shift N.
Increase playback speed. Greater shift plus dot.
So greater than to increase the playback speed.
Decrease playback speed. Less shift plus.
Less than to decrease it.
Button close.
All right, let's try out some of these commands. Why not?
Playback speed 1 times but.
All right, so I'm going to hit spacebar to play.
List 1 times 2 of 9.
Oops.
Playback. Go
Let's-
forward. Play but.
That whole idea
pause.
of kingship had died across the world except in a few.
Okay,
Play.
so play, pause seems to work. Let's go. I'm going to hit play, and I'm going to go hit P to go to the previous chapter.
That whole idea of kingship.
Or
Chapter
Shift P.
25.
There we go. It works.
Chapter 24. Infanticide.
And I'm going to hit Shift N.
Chapter 25.
Okay, and now I'm going to hit left arrow to move backwards.
Third, okay,
And I'm moving backwards.
I'm
I'm going to hit right arrow to move forward.
His job carried a lot
All
of
right,
prestige,
let's hit
but it
greater than
denied
to
him
go faster.
much of a social or sex life. And at moments like this, he wondered what the hell was so goddamn fastidious about it. Chapter 25. Fence rending.
So that wasn't me cursing, by the way. That was the book. So too bad. So it can go quite fast. Let's slow it way down.
Naturally enough, to get the information immediately to the U.S. Embassy in Beijing. There, Ambassador Carl Hitch took the call at his...
Play.
And we'll pause it. So quite a number of keyboard shortcuts there to do the basic tasks that you need to get to. You can also get a list of your chapters, of course.
Slider 44 minutes left on list.
There's a slider.
Selected 1 of 63.
So here's a list of your chapters, and you can easily go through the list of the chapters. So there's 163 chapters. I believe this one is a 40-hour book, somewhere around there. Let's see if it tells us.
Left on 44 minutes in chapter. List clickable chapter 25 clickable tab bookmarks tab 39% complete 1 day 2 hours 21 minutes left.
So quite a long book.
List the Bear and the Dragon.
Let's go to the very last chapter. Let's do the Bible test as Kirt did.
Chapter 1 chapter 42 the Bear and the Dragon. List chapter 25 chapter the Bear and the Dragon. List chapter 30 chapter 49 chapter 61 Revolution not the Bear prologue not the Bear chapter 61 Revolution not selected.
All right, this is the last chapter. Let's go to the Revolution. Here we go. I'm going to hit enter.
Selected.
Chapter 61.
Oh, look. It jumped straight there. So it seems a lot faster than the Audible. But anyway, it seems to work nonetheless. And we'll just close out of this. I'm going to hit Control W, close out the tab. So this is all through the web. As I said, the mobile apps also work similarly. And this is for audiobooks. If you're interested in ebooks, we can always do let's see what happens if we go to the ebooks.
Because, link Google Play Book.
I always like to show the good and the bad
Google Play document.
of anything that we're doing. So let's go to the ebooks.
Google account. Google Play Book. Search edit search blank.
Bible. Let's search for Bible. There we go.
Document visit
And let's get
blank.
one of those free ones, shall we?
Ebooks heading left free button.
Free, okay. I like free. Let's get it.
Graphic rate button free. Read button. Bible.
All right, I got it.
Button read.
So now let's read it. So I'm going to hit enter on read.
Untitled Google Chrome Canary Nimer Bible. Webster 1833 Google Play document. HTTP. Blank. Frame navigation landmark heading level 1 Bible. Button toggle full screen. Button search.
Okay, so here we got some buttons. Toggle full screen, search,
Button display things.
display settings,
Button open table of contents.
open table of contents,
Button highlights and notes.
highlights and notes,
Button add bookmark.
add bookmark,
Button more options.
more
Link
options.
Google account. Clickable list with one item's graphic get in description.
So on a mobile side, there is an option to actually have the book read out loud, and it will use a like a Google Assistant voice to read the voice out loud. And let's see if that option exists in this version.
Dialogue. Report offensive. Report an issue. Send feedback. Save notes to Google about this book. Report offensive.
It doesn't seem to be there. I haven't gone through the settings, but in the regular app on the mobile side, that option exists under more options. So it might not be in this web version. I haven't looked. I don't read a lot of textbooks this way. I get textbooks from Bookshare. So, but let's go through and let's see what happens if we try to read this book.
Click out and list button unavailable previous page. Slider cover. Page 1.
All right, so I'm on the cover page.
Button on page 1 of 3000. Button next page. Page 1 of 3391.
Woo, I'm going to be here a while. I'm going to read all 3,391 pages right here on YouTube. Well, I'll just set the headphones down and I'll just leave it reading. You guys can watch the stream.
Button next page. Button next page.
I'm kidding. Okay, so this is, now we have to go to the next page. Like, it didn't seem to really give me any content on this cover page.
Navigation landmark visited link.
Let's just go to the top just to make sure.
Heading level 1 Bible. Button toggle full screen. Button search. Button display set. Button open table. Button highlights. Button add book. Button more options. Link Google. Clickable list with one item's graphic get in description. Graphic cover. Out of list slider cover. Page 1.
So this is the cover.
Previous page. Next page button.
So let's go to the next page.
Clickable page 2 of 3000. Button previous slider list with blank. Head click the Bible heading level 1 Bible. Clickable heading level 2 Webster 1833. Blank. Out of list slider cover.
So literally, if you want to read a book, you're going to have to pretty much go previous page, next page, through the entire book.
Previous next page.
Next page. Let's go here.
Web button toggle for button no next button link Google account clickable 80,300
And not all pages start with a heading, so you have to find the top of the page, start reading.
List slider cover button previous page 2 of 3 button
next page.
List with one items clickable the Old Testament heading level 3 out of list button more option link click out of list slider the Old Testament page 3.
All right. So let's see if there's any keyboard shortcuts for this ebook player side. Let's hit question mark. So I hit shift question mark.
Page button next.
And I don't seem to get any keyboard shortcuts here. So certainly not getting any of that popping up. So yeah, this is the ebook side of Playbooks. It's doable. You can certainly read a book this way, but I would call it not necessarily efficient. But let's see if we can make any changes in the display settings that might make this a little bit easier.
Toggle for search for display settings button display options.
Display options.
Display
there we go.
Options dialog. Clickable dark theme check. Dark theme.
So we can do dark theme.
View. Clickable combo box collapsed flow in text.
This is what I want. Here, the view. Let's see what options we have for view.
Flow in text. Original pages.
So we have flow in text or original pages. Let's see if we set it to original pages, if that makes any change to the accessibility or not.
Zoom. Clickable combo box collapsed fit to width. Page layout. Group in toggle button pressed automatic layout. Toggle button not pressed 2 page layout. Toggle button not pressed 1 page layout. Toggle button not pressed 1 page layout.
So we can always have a 2-page layout, a 1-page layout. This is kind of how things are on screen.
Toggle button not pressed. Toggle button pressed. Automatic layout.
or an automatic layout.
Toggle button not pressed. 2-page layout.
So yeah, let's change this. Maybe do 2-page layout. Maybe it'll show us more on screen at a time.
Pressed.
Who knows? Let's see what happens.
Automatic layout. Clickable close display options. Clickable dark theme. Close
display options.
Button open table of content. Button highlights. Button Audible. No previous. Button to button search. Button link Google. Click graphic bar. Graphic web. Graphic 80,003. The Bible in English. Bible. Webster 1000. Book Ricks GmbH. Clickable the Old Testament. Out of list side of the old button previous page. Pages 2 button next page.
So it gives us 2 pages at a time, so we can read a little bit more text this way. I would still say it's not really efficient. So I just tried to do the next text command, at least with NVDA. That doesn't work. Let's see if the paragraph command works. No. So yeah, so we can read books this way, but I would say it's probably not as efficient. But what you can do is go through chapters and add notes and add bookmarks. So let's open table of contents.
Dialog tab control content tab selected 1 of 2. Content property page navigation landmark cover heading level 1 page 1 link. Link page 1. Link heading level 1 the Old Testament.
So these are
link page 3. Link heading level 1 Genesis.
You know, these are links.
Link page for link heading level 1 Exodus. Link heading level 1 Leviticus.
So I can probably do what what's his name did?
Find dialog. Type the text you.
Kirt did. I can't remember your name. Kirt, sorry.
I feel very flattered.
Level 1 Luke.
So there we go. I just jumped to Luke. I just did a screen reader find for Luke, and I'm going to hit enter. Let's see if we jump there.
Link heading level 1 Luke. Link page 2710. Link heading level 1 John. Link heading level 1 Luke. Link page 2000. Close content. Spot button. Close content.
Close contents.
Head button toggle full screen.
Let's see. Did we actually jump there?
Link Google. Clickable order. Declarate Luke 114 as much as many have taken.
We did. There we go. So now we're in Luke. All right. So there we go. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the screen share. We can just talk about this a little bit and then move on to Windows 11.
Bible books on Google.
And we can see if we have any comments.
Red circle live view. In source book set. Document.
Well.
Remove. Document. Maximize button. Remove from the stream. Add to the stream.
All right. There we go.
New. Document. Refresh button. Remove from the document. Tab control.
Oops, I think I might have removed Kirt.
Add to maximize. Add to.
Let's add Kirt again.
Mute button. Remove.
There we go.
All right, should I swear? Hello.
Hello.
I'm back. Cool. Well, you know, that whole time I was thinking... I was thinking that... I'm surprised that something has made me like the Bookshare web reader. But the Bookshare web reader, at least for the ebook side, feels so much more polished and so much easier to use with the screen reader than...
Yeah, it certainly does. You know, like I said, this reader is usable, but it's kind of laid out more like... So this is kind of an interesting point as an aside. Like, do you want something to be truly accessible, or do you want it to be represented similarly to how other people are viewing it?
Right.
And to me, this is displayed how other people are viewing it, because, you know, people can easily see, oh, this is the top of the page, and just read down the screen. Whereas it's not really customized or modified necessarily to say, this is customized to give you the best accessibility experience, but it looks different from how other people are using it. So it's... I think there's an argument to be made for either one.
Yeah, I mean, I'd prefer the Bookshare web reader. What's interesting to me is very clearly Google makes better web apps. Like, like that Amazon one. You know, when I press question mark, I should have tried to demo that in the Audible app, but when I press question mark in the Audible app, no keyboard shortcuts come up. So they're all just, you know, that was all just my guesswork. And, like, it works, but, like, very clearly Google is more built around it than Amazon is.
Yeah, I mean, in my experience, I've always had issues with different Amazon web apps or Amazon apps in general, and their Amazon site and Amazon this and that. Like, their stuff
Yeah.
just generally doesn't have the same level of polish,
Yeah.
and tends to
Like,
have
it
more
works,
issues.
but-
Yeah, it works. You can get around it, sure, but yeah. And by the way, the question mark isn't really just a Google thing. As if you go to Twitter or Facebook, any of those, excuse me, any of those will have the question mark. So.
Yeah, so it was weird to me that Amazon didn't, because I've definitely seen it lots of places.
Yeah. All right. Well, let us know what you think of that, and if you have a favorite book site or something you want us to review, let us know. And hopefully now you can do a little bit of reading, certainly with Google Play Books and with Audible. I keep wanting to call it Kindle with Audible, and you can do those on the web. So there we go.
Yeah.
And the reason we're showing these web apps is that they will work the same on any platform. So if you're using JAWS and you say, well, why don't these people ever demo anything with JAWS? It's okay. Do exactly what we did, and it'll work
Yeah.
with JAWS. It's fine.
Yeah, some of the keyboard commands are maybe a little different, just depending on, like, you know, if you're using a Mac and you have your quick nav, or you're using JAWS and you've got your browse mode, or whatever JAWS calls it, virtual PC cursor. You know, like, they're named different, but they're kind of the same thing.
That's right. That's exactly right. Okay, so Windows 11. I don't have a whole lot to say about it because I did do a video of that a few weeks back, so go back and look at that, where I actually demoed some of the features. Not a whole lot has changed since I did that demo, nothing that is going to be released publicly. So insiders are running newer builds than what's going to be released, but the release that's going to be coming out, there's, I wouldn't say a huge amount that's revolutionary in that. And like I said, go back through and look at that. What I will say is that there are some screen reader things to be aware of. Not very many. It's generally working pretty well. But there are a few things about Windows 10. So let's I'll pull up my notes here, and I'll tell you exactly. Hey, by the way, if you're on the Windows accessibility or Windows access list or groups.io, that group, there was an advisory sent out on there as well. So there we go. Alright, so Windows 11 has been tested by a number of people, and so it's been out for a while, and so that's pretty good. Generally, it's pretty usable. Now, it's not mandatory that you install it. First of all, you don't have to install it. Windows 10 is still supported till 2025, so please don't run out to install it if you don't want to install it. If you do try to install it, just be aware you have to have a machine with certain specifications. You have to have at least 8th generation i processor. You have to have the TPM, the Trusted Platform Module. You have to have that. TPM 2.0, you have to have it. And you also have to have the ability to run Secure Boot. Most of those things, you probably have no idea what I'm saying, and you think I'm babbling at you. If you've gotten a computer any time in the last, 3 years, 4 years, then you're good to go. If it's an older computer than that, too bad for you. You probably have to buy a new one eventually, but for now you're okay. Just stick with Windows 10, and you will be fine. So yeah, the Windows 11 is going to feel in a lot of ways similar to Windows 10. There are some differences, but for the most part, it's going to generally feel very similar. So there are some differences in the settings, in the layout of the settings itself, but generally it'll feel, pretty pretty similar. There are also some changes in the system tray. There's a new command to open up the notification center, is Windows N. There's a new command to access the, for example, where you used to access the wireless and the battery and some of these other things. You used to access that from the system tray. There's a new command. Those are now in an action center.
Oh, great.
So you have to hit Windows A to access those now.
Slider. 48%.
So,
28%.
oh, I hear myself. Hello, Chromevox.
I just unplugged my headphones. That's why. I'll plug them back in.
Okay, that's fine. So there's a pretty big visual overhaul for visual users. There's a thing called snap groups and snap layouts. So Windows Z is the keyboard shortcut for that, to make different groups of apps, for example. Oh, that Windows A, by the way, is called the Control Center, not Action Center. It used to be Action Center.
Ooh.
I said Action Center. It's
Apple
called
should
Control
sue
Center.
them.
Yeah, exactly. Now we have this widgets thing now, so you hit Windows W and you can access things like your weather and all that, and it's by default when one of the parts of the computer. So if you go to the desktop and you start tabbing, you'll eventually reach widgets if you have that enabled, which by default it should be. Otherwise you can turn some of those things off, but the default is that it's enabled. So you'll see it there, and you can hit Windows W to access widgets. They do have a chat now that's similar to like a Microsoft Teams. They've baked that into Windows. You can use that. Hit Windows C for the chat. There's a completely redesigned emoji panel, so you can insert GIFs now. So again, you can get to that with Windows period, but that hasn't really changed. The screen reader compatibility might have slightly. So yeah, there's certainly some changes there. Windows Terminal is now the default for command line interface. You can reorder virtual desktops. So in order to run this, what you want to do is you want to make sure you have the latest version of your screen reader. So that's JAWS 2022. You don't want to run Windows 11 on anything before that. You also want to have the latest version of NVDA, at least 2021.1, but you want to have the latest version of NVDA. Narrator, that thing's included. It's built into Windows. So it works fine. So there we go. Let's see if there's anything else here.
What
Some
about
of the
Android
issues
apps?
that's not in Windows 11 yet.
Okay, not even in the Insider.
Nope. Sometimes when you switch between apps, in some cases you'll get something that says pain. And it is a pain. So yeah, sometimes you have to just focus away from it, maybe go to the desktop, try to Alt-Tab again. But sometimes that happens. Some screen readers, particularly JAWS, to some extent maybe NVDA, but for sure JAWS, may have trouble working with the redesigned emoji panel. Hopefully they have some fixes to that coming up. In the settings center, narrator, for example, will not announce installation progress for updates. So, yeah. Hopefully that helps you out if you want to update to Windows 11. Again, I've demoed some of the newer features, but and some of the new shortcuts and the widgets and the new actions control center, whatever it's called. I've demoed those, so definitely go back and revisit that video. But yeah, it's not going to feel hugely different. The start menu, some people might have a question on that because that always seems to change. If you hit the start menu, if you hit the Windows key, you still land in the search box. If you hit up arrow, you get to the user account. If you hit right arrow there, you can do you have the ability to go to shut down your machine, for example. So, for example, if you want to shut down, you can hit Start, up arrow, hit Enter. Then you can have lock, sign out, that kind of thing. If you hit right arrow, you'll get to the power to actually shut down. You can still do it through the Windows X, and then you can go to shut down from there. You can do it through there. You can also do it by going to the desktop and hitting Alt F4. So however you used to shut down, it probably still works, at least similarly. If you go to the Start menu and you hit down arrow, you get your pinned list of apps. So whatever is pinned there, then you'll get that. If you hit Tab, you'll get to all apps. So if you hit Tab again, then you'll get to a recommended list of your documents or things that you've had open. And that's about it. So then if you go to all apps, the one thing that you should know there is, guess what doesn't work? Your first letter navigation may or may not work. It's been addressed in the new version of Windows 11 that I have, but I don't know that it's been addressed in that version of Windows that is rolling out publicly. So first letter navigation may or may not work for you, but otherwise where it doesn't work is in folders. So if you go to all apps and you land in a folder, it definitely, and that's still the case for me, it doesn't work in a folder or sub menu.
That's not good.
Yeah.
Like, that might actually be enough to keep me on Windows 10 until it's fixed.
Uh-oh.
Because I mean, I have a lot of folders with a lot of things in them.
No, I'm talking about in the Start menu, sorry.
Okay. Just in the Start menu. So
Right.
It would still work fine in, like, File Explorer?
Yes.
Okay.
The one thing that's interesting too is if you do try to use first letter navigation, you can jump to the first letter, the first app with the first letter, but you can't jump to subsequent apps. So if you have two apps with the letter N, you can jump to the first one, but not to the second one. So yeah, there's some oddities for sure. But for the most part, it's working, and it's working pretty well. So I wouldn't have too much hesitation about upgrading to Windows 11 if you get the opportunity. Otherwise, if you just don't want to, feel uncomfortable about it, you don't need to. Just wait. You've got a few years. So there we go.
Well, and probably some of these little things will be addressed in patches and such, I would hope.
Yeah, I'm sure they will. All right. Well, I think probably, I don't know, is there anything else that you want us to cover here, Kirt? We've been going for a bit. I think this is good for the week.
I don't think so. I think this is good for the week.
All right. Well, we'll revisit things next week. I think Kurt's going to bring that note taker out of the toilet tank. So if you're interested in
in
a live
see if it
demo
still works.
of that thing, then come back and we'll do a rebirth of the Braille Note Touch. And we'll see how touchy it is.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah. All right. Well, there we go. So it gives us something to look forward to for next week. And I want to thank everyone for joining. And feel free to share this out. Hit the like button. Subscribe. Tweet it out. Put it on Snapchat. Whatever it is that you like to do. Do that. And thank you very much. We'll see you next Thursday. Have a good one.
Cheers, everybody.